Hello and welcome to another episode of our Sustainability Asia video series. My name is David Milligan. I'm a banking partner in Norton Rose Fulbright's Hong Kong office. And in this series, we talk to colleagues and clients about sustainability in the region. Today, I'm really happy to be joined by Yasmine Djeddai. Yasmine is the Head of Sustainable Finance for Asia Pacific at Societe Generale. Yasmine, thank you so much for coming to talk to us today.
Yeah, hi, David, and thank you for having me.
So let's get started. There's been so much talk in the last year and I think particularly in the last few months about sustainability and sustainable finance. Societe Generale is focused on something called positive impact finance. Can you explain what that means?
Sure. So maybe let's take a few seconds just to come back on the concept of impact so that we are all aligned on what we mean behind this term. So impact is, and if you said the definition, is the effect of a change on the population or the ecosystem, which lasts for a long time. We are all facing today current global changes and the global challenges, and we can see concrete example of impacts. Water scarcity or global pandemic because of loss of some ecosystems. Impact is also what we want to achieve behind sustainable development goals concretely. So it can be access to energy, access to healthcare, access to education, empowerment, creation of jobs. So actually, a few years ago, in 2012, Societe Generale has developed a positive impact approach. And actually, it was applied firstly to our portfolio of project finance transactions. A few years later, in 2015, we opened it to more collaborative and to improvement under the leadership of UNEP FI. And actually, they were quite interested, and we had different members as well joining the initiative. And we created then the Positive Impact Finance Initiative, again, under the leadership of UNEP FI. More concretely, in practice, it means we will look at a transaction and we will look more precisely at least one positive impact on any of the three pillars of sustainable development: economic, social, and environmental. But we will look as well to the negative impacts generated by such projects. And we will identify them and mitigate them. So at the end, and a few years later, and you can imagine, EU taxonomy has echoed this approach with the do not significant harm concept.
So Societe Generale is one of the few banks that covers the full spectrum of sustainable finance solutions. So from the mainstream green loans and so on to more disruptive ones, such as impact-based finance. Can you provide a bit more color on that, please?
Sure. So maybe to come back to our ambition, which is to support our clients in achieving and contributing to the sustainable development goals and helping them to go through their transition. And actually, it goes through the different financing solutions, from conventional financing solutions to the traditional sustainable financing solutions, but also more disruptive approach, such as the impact-based finance, which is actually a co-constructing approach with our clients to think about new business model to be able to achieve those SDGs. So our vision is there are clearly investment gaps, which are estimated to $2.6 trillion for SDG projects. And actually, I'm referring here to investment gap and not funding gap, because our vision is that there is plenty of funding when it deals with investable projects, all the more if they contribute to the SDG. So the issue is, how can we make projects more bankable? So the impact-based finance team has been set up a few years ago with the ambition of co-constructing a new business model with our clients to achieve the goals they have under the SDGs. More concretely, it means that we will look at a project, we will try to see ways to improve impacts around this project, to generate extra revenues, directly or indirectly, which will make an initially project which is not bankable to an investable project to private investors, both on the equity and the debt side.
I really like this idea of not just tweaking around the edges of what we've done before, but really trying to look at things afresh. It's really exciting. Can you tell us a bit more about the most relevant sectors and regions for this approach?
So actually, we are testing this approach with many of our corporate clients in different regions, notably in Africa and Southeast Asia. And we have identified 4 key, I would say, value chain. The smart infrastructure and sustainable cities. So it's all about smart lighting, smart mobility. The second one is about clean energy and connectivity and energy efficiency, obviously. Third one is the smart agriculture and water treatment. And lastly, circular economy and waste management. In terms of geographies, unsurprisingly, the SDG investment gap are mainly in developing countries because actually of the huge needs, but also limited fundings. But we are seeing also that even in developing countries, because those projects are, the projects of energy efficiency and mobility, they are small, they are dispersed, and they are also, I would say, the business model around those projects is not necessarily the most efficient. So we do think that even in developed countries, this approach is relevant, hence the need to rethink impact.
Yasmine, thank you so much. It's been fascinating to hear about what Societe Generale are up to. That's all we have time for this week. We'll be back next week with another video.